Good morning, everyone. Tansin wa humarantik minanto timitik. I'm grateful for this opportunity to share greetings at the start of this valuable conference. I'm joining you today from Government House in Regina, which is in Treaty 4 territory and homeland of the Métis. I want to acknowledge and thank the elders and pipe carriers who led a pipe ceremony to bless this gathering. I was born and raised in the north, where I grew up around forests and lakes. My first posting with the RCMP was to Indian Head, and it was the first time I had lived in a farming community. I learned a great deal from the local producers, including how very hard they work to operate farming operations. Having said that, I belong to the Lac La Ronge Indian Band, and it is comprised of 6 distinct communities. One of these is Little Red River, which is situated north of Prince Albert. This land was allocated as part of treaty, I'm sure with the intent that community members would become involved with farming. I'm told that the land there is very fertile and productive. To the best of my knowledge, most of the land is leased to farmers in the area. I've often wondered why this is so, but I certainly believe that there are tremendous opportunities for community members to be more involved and for the larger community to benefit. Historically, Indigenous peoples have faced many obstacles that have prevented them from being successful as farmers. Even though it was entrenched in the treaties, subsequent government policies such as the Indian Act were major barriers. As well, Indigenous veterans who had fought in the World Wars did not receive the same benefits relative to loans and purchases of farmland and equipment that their non-Indigenous comrades did. These factors created an environment where farming was not seen as a viable way of life. It has changed somewhat, and when looked at through a lens of reconciliation, there are endless possibilities. Certainly, it will benefit the economy if Indigenous peoples are able to engage in a meaningful way in this important industry. But I also suggest that traditional Indigenous knowledge could also be very beneficial. Encouraging and enabling investment in Indigenous agriculture is a win-win. It's beneficial to our economy and to righting the historical wrongs against Indigenous peoples. But it will also be beneficial to the larger community and potentially to industry practices and sustainability. I was raised in my grandparents' home in La Ronge. They lived a traditional lifestyle, trapping, hunting, and fishing. I learned from their example to value nature and how important it is to our physical and emotional well-being to live in balance with nature. This is a lesson that can be shared in all areas, including agriculture. My thanks to FHQ Developments for creating this important Indigenous Agriculture Innovation Conference. I look forward to hearing from the interesting lineup of speakers. In closing, it is my pleasure to bring you greetings on behalf of Her Majesty, Queen Elizabeth II, Queen of Canada. I'd also like to share these greetings in my first language, which is Woodland Cree. Elizabeth II. Kigi Toga Masquino, or Tegi Taskino, Canada. Nina Naskuman.